Okay, friends, we are back for more Class Dismissed, playing East Texas University, a setting that lays over top of the Savage Worlds Suede Edition, Savage Worlds Advanced Deluxe Edition, or Adventures Deluxe Edition, something like that. Don't have to know exactly what it is because I got the book right here. Adventure Edition. It is all good. Savage Worlds, brought to us by Shane Hensley and Clint Black, and the East Texas University material uh, presented by Preston DeBose and Ed Wetterman. Prater's Rejects, a Twitch channel, a YouTube channel, a gathering of like minded fantasy and such role players, some face to face players, mostly at this point uh, distributed and dispersed across the country and probably other countries. Wouldn't surprise me to learn that someone was in Canada or some such. Brought to us by Duff. Duff runs this channel, and we do appreciate you giving us the vehicle to get these videos out onto the YouTubes. Corey started this campaign 3 years ago, and we picked it up and decided to run with it and keep playing it. So, Corey, if you're watching, and I hope you are, and I suspect you are, just realize that you provided us sort of that impetus um, to just have as much fun as we can with this material. And there are just some times that I don't think we can stop laughing. So I would say that you did your part to really stimulate our sense of humors and our immersion into this East Texas University milieu. The artwork, I'm going to say now, brought to you by all three of my players. Back of the napkin sketches, Sims, full blown color art. You name it, these three good people have provided it in some way, shape, manner, or form. And as I often do say, it's a force multiplier. I present a scene, and before it even is done, there are little back of the napkin sketches and artistic beginnings of some artwork coming my way, and it's just uh, shows that my players are engaged, having a good time, and that makes me have an even better time if that's possible. Phil Cho is an artist, has a site or a sub-site or a link off of the DeviantArt site, and I do use a fair amount of Phil's artwork. Most of it is superhero in nature, but there were a lot of common man or common woman, common people uh, pieces of art that I've adopted because they're perfect for East Texas University. College student aged um, topics, some young to middle aged adults, people in uniform, people with guns, small children. It's all there. So I would earnestly entreat you to stop over at DeviantArt. I think I found it from Pinterest. And Phil Cho. I'll be giving you shout outs when we see some of your art. Good stuff. Really good stuff. So, where were we when the last time that we played? You went and rubbed elbows, hobnobbed a little bit with the movers and the shakers, a veritable who's who of the Pine Box town, which is nestled right along the border of the big thicket that separates eastern Texas from western and northern western Louisiana. The big thicket, a large expanse of, well, it's the only remaining North American jungle, even though it's not hot and humid like you think of the Amazonian rainforest, right? It still satisfies, by definition, um, a jungle. So, hobnobbing with the who's who, uh, owners of the businesses and other notable folks. The guy that bought the Pine Box Grand Theater, the cinema, and refurbished it, starting with tonight's showing of The Wizard of Oz. Took your seats, but not before holding the door for a very excited young boy named Scotty, who was very interested in seeing this movie, and it's his favorite, and he loves all the characters. And he had a big Coke. I forget what kind of Coke, but it was a Coke of some type. In one hand, balanced with a big old popcorn in the other hand, with a lot of that tasty, salty, not really butter. And he did hold the door for him as he made his way upstairs to the upstairs balcony seating of the Pine Box Grand Cinema. Watched a little bit of the movie, and the characters from the movie leapt from the screen to the stage, although these were not the cuddly lion or the very cute Dorothy, or the even cuter Toto, or the whimsical Scarecrow. No, these had quite a demonic bent to them. The Scarecrow, long blades, almost like the Edward Scissorhands, and the Tin Man hoisting his woodman's axe, dripping with blood from the blade. Toto, no longer the little scruffy terrier, but now a slavering Rottweiler-sized dog with a hellish gleam in his eyes and just nasty saliva dripping from his jowls. And Almira Gulch, the Wicked Witch, came out with her bicycle and beat a hasty retreat as a handful of winged monkeys took flight up to the balcony and were able to wrest Scotty from the 2 or 3 individuals of the adventuring group that were up in the balcony, and did fly to the exit, right to as you're facing the screen, it was to the left of the screen. We find our stalwart adventurers pretty much down on the first level, the main entrance level of this theater, kind of near the door. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit, show you some of Phil Cho's fine artwork as it will be on your screen. And all of the sort of the full body sketches were off of his DeviantArt site. The big old tokens are our players. We have Mir, we have Rocco, his dog. I see Shep, I see Ava. They are watching just the hoi polloi, the crowd of people running out of this theater, as in the front of the theater during the movie, when these beings leapt from the screen, the Scarecrow opened up a man's skull horizontally and did almost like a cap pull the scalp off, and the top of the skull start feasting on the poor unfortunate Pine Box citizens' brains. The Tin Man helped himself to a still beating bloody heart of this carcass and did swing at 1 or 2 other people with his axe, but they managed to escape. And that is why there is this massive egress screaming into the streets of Pine Box, trying to get away, trying to seek safety in the outdoors rather than being closed in. So before we go any further, a couple of dean duties. In Savage Worlds, the person running an East Texas University game is called the dean. Do have a card to draw for Shep's curse. He has a hindrance called curse, and every session he gives me the opportunity to have more fun than I should be allowed to have. We'll drop that card. It's going to be a king. Yeah, there's definitely something going around in Pine Box that we might have even had this last session, so it gives us that little continuity of flow. Nightsteed. Probably
That
still under
the
the
sick
effect of
one?
your last set of meds that you took over the counter.
I think so.
Let's do it. Just a quick mic check because you sounded very faint, my friend.
Oh no.
Also,
How's this?
you all sound very faint. I'm going to go back quickly to my Discord screen. I'm going
Is
to
it
turn
better?
back
Or am I too
the
loud this time?
attenuation setting.
You sound okay to me, but
Okay.
What
I'm
was it?
I'm just gonna stay nice and close.
Attenuation. I set it to 50 just experimentally. I'll drop it back down to about 20. And I'm going to attenuate when both of us speak. I'm going to ask that we just all just raise our volume a little bit. Generally, in these recordings, we've been having a lot of trouble with the audio portion. It's so faint. I don't know, I've just got that sort of bombastic voice that carries, but others are harder to hear. So now that I've played with those settings a little bit, let me just go left to right here. Amai, say something.
Hello.
That sounds clear to me. That sounds pretty clear. Rosalie, give me a big hello.
Hello.
And that's even a little bit louder and very clear, crisp and clear. And Nightsteed,
hello.
all of you sound great. And unfortunately, in the recordings, I was not able, we didn't get the last episode out. So I wasn't able to play it back, say through YouTube, and hear how the audio was. But we'll go with this. I mean, you guys sound, you know, crisp and clear. Volume sounds right. We'll just have to go with it. Always learning as we go, seat of the pants. This is us, warts and all, as I say. We're not perfect, far from it. I'm still learning the interface, OBS, little Discord, a fair amount of Unity. Get a little bit better, I hope, every time we play. I got clever with my screen. I outlined a faint white cutout of the upper, northeast corner, the part that shows in the video. So I'm going to try to focus, most of the imagery up into there rather than having it half on and half off when the action goes down south. So um, I guess I would be remiss if I did not reset Benny's. It's one of the rare occasions when all the player characters, all the students are present. And yeah, y'all are topped off. And let me know, does anyone have that? Okay, I know Sophia is lucky and very lucky, I think. Um, at least lucky. Shep or Ava, neither one of you got that little extra Benny
No.
benefit
No,
from
I don't have the extra Benny
your
stuff.
final exams. It's always good to
I'm
ask.
just basic.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's always good to ask up front rather than killing one of you and then remembering, oh yeah, you should have had a Benny. So, um, on the combat tracker, I have we got down to Shep. I've somewhat illustrated. I will share this map again. I know Amai can see it, but I'll share it with the other players. And indeed, I can see all of their little uh, portraits. So I think it's shared. You can see where you are. If I
Mm-hmm.
move this map down a little bit, there is one who is not directly with you. Sophia jumped up into entered, picked the lock and entered into the movie room, into the real REEL room, from which the reel to reel film was being shown. And let me just start where we left off. Shep, we're to you on the combat tracker. And I don't know if we ended with you completing an action or waiting until next time, but let me just say if there's something that you would like to do, I'm all ears.
I, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're pretty much just making sure everybody gets out safely.
you are
Clearly.
positioned in such a manner to expedite the safe escape of just about as many of these common folk as you can. Mir, by the doors, help making sure people don't try to
Yeah.
rush and push down the steps. Now these steps are pretty nice and they're carpeted lushly. You could probably survive a fall down them. It's not like they're cement steps, in a fire escape or something like that, metal that you would bounce off of. It's nicely carpeted, nice and soft and plush and new. However, could you survive being stampeded by those that step on you carelessly as they attempt to cross
Yeah.
your supine form? That is questionable. I will also say you see that kind elderly man standing across the way, kind of looking quizzically at you with his head just ever so slightly tilted. He looks like he's the guy that gave young Scotty a crisp $20 bill, so that he could enjoy that extra large Coke, which was mostly ice in retrospect, of course, and of course that popcorn. Draw just a little arrow. That man is there.
Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on him. I'm going to poke Ava and go, isn't that the guy that basically raised Scotty in such a way that he probably was a time outer? Because he definitely doesn't know how to mind his manners. Um,
The old
and just
guy.
kind of keep an eye on that guy, and I'll point it out to Ava. I
That's
just
the
want to make
person that I
sure.
saw, right? I remember Ava doing a notice roll and noticing the little boy and the elderly man, and he did give him money to go
Mhm.
get some stuff,
Yeah, it was a
and
20. Yep.
just assume that it was like his grandfather.
Yeah. His
But
grandfather,
he
perhaps a
didn't.
great grandfather, hard to
Yeah.
say, but he does appear to be at least 80. And bump your volume, Amai, just a little bit more, and we'll just try to
Oh, I
try to.
don't know how to do that, so I'm just gonna get real close.
Okay, that works too. That works too. Okay, Shep, I'm gonna advance from you after
Yeah.
giving Ava a little poke. Rocco's happy. Mir's also two at a time. Be careful. Be good to each other, or I will sick my attack dog on you. No, he wouldn't say that. Man just kind of like looks, and he's smiling. I'm gonna give Shep and Ava a notice roll, please. I think I'm gonna give Erica one as well. A 5 for Shep. A 4, noting that she is fatigued as she did fall back and bump her noggin against the balcony fencing. Um, and Erica, also with a 5. The first time that you saw this old man, he looked old and weak and pale, almost ashen in complexion. He looks a bit more hale and hearty now than you recall him being. Perhaps he's standing a little straighter and not quite stooping as much. He's got a healthy reddish glow, as if he's excited or flushed from exercise or something like that. But a success in Savage Worlds. The target number's a 4, and each of you, us, me, um, met or exceeded that target roll. So I will give you that little piece of information.
I
Oh
don't think
boy.
he is just a normal person, Ava.
Let's see, it looked like that. Looks
I
like that may
agree.
have been the end of the round as I advanced. It went to round seven, and everybody is reshuffled. Not recommend that you burn a Benny to get a new position just yet for this because we're sort of using the combat tracker just to keep my excited players in a nice orderly fashion. Try to keep them from talking over one another. I'll hesitantly say you could draw another card, but believe me, you're going to need these bennies.
I believe it. Oh boy.
Shep,
Let's see.
Rocco is growling at that old man. He's about 30 feet away from him. He's several long, loping, four legged strides. Is this good boy, this good doggo from the old man? But in a manner similar to the way that he growled at that baboon that descended from the tree in the Pine Box Cemetery, and the way that it acted way back when you were trying to investigate poltergeist activities in a trailer where a man and a woman and the woman's child, little boy, lived. He's got that sort of attentive demeanor that you've witnessed him having before. Ava will go to you. Only with a 10, but quite high in the initiative order.
Oh, surprising. The let's see. Yeah, hearing Rocco growling.
Mm-hmm. It's that
I think,
throaty growl.
and considering that this person is not, they are not as old as when we first saw them, and now they're looking a bit younger, or at least a little more
Spry.
sprightly.
Yep. I mean, it's not like
They're not trying to
it's
leap.
not like his hairline is growing back, and it's not like
Yeah.
he's taken off his eyewear because he doesn't need it anymore. No, he just looks a little flushed.
Um, let's go. I want to. Let's see. Shep is nearest to me, so I was saying let's go confront him. And but you first.
I believe that I have tokens unlocked, so
But you first.
I just
uh,
picture little Ava like getting behind Ship and pushing him.
just gonna get over here
You
and
first.
yeah, right. I'll scoot over and go over to Shep. It's like we should go and confront him because it's really weird, and I think he has something to do with that little boy and that ring and everything going on here.
You
But
think?
but he's kind of scary, and I need some help.
scary. No, no. This is a kindly old man. His the sort of crow's feet and the smile lines show a life full of love and happiness. There is nothing even remotely offensive about this man, who has chosen to stand off away from this throng of people that are jostling a little bit and waiting impatiently, trying to hold back that urge to just push through and exit out onto the streets of Pine Box, Texas.
Oh man. So I'll do is being able to move while kind of holding someone else, is that like, is it like 5e where it's half movement, or do I have to wait until Shep's actual turn to move
Yeah, yeah,
alongside
you
with
should
him?
you should wait until he moves, but I will not
Okay.
penalize you any of your movement. And that's assuming that he chooses to kind of go your way
Yeah.
and let you urge him in that direction. Else, I might let
There
you
are
give.
noodle arms here.
Yeah. Else, I
So
might, in retrospect, give you a half movement if your paths diverge, as really your turn has already
is
gone by. But again, this is an artificial sort of set up here, this sort of stop action where I move, and then you move, and then the bad guy moves. It's all very fluid in reality. So I'm willing to nibble around the edges a little bit and keep it, give it a little more, verisimilitude. Um, let's see. Let's see. Eric could make it to there. I'm going to penalize her 2 squares as she is going to try to make her way across this river of humanity. Excuse me, y'all. Pardon me, y'all. Excuse me, y'all. Pardon me. Pardon me, y'all. Excuse me. Excuse me. And she's going to slip through. And just as as the gentlest of reminders, looks like Erica picked up one of those brass poles that holds the blue velvet cordon that sort of loops from post to post, sort of to give people an idea of like which way to go when you're standing on line, to sort of help a little bit with flow control. Looks like she unclipped the cordons and sort of unscrewed the post from its base, which has probably got some weight to it. Keep it from just being tipped over when it's casually brushed by one of the moviegoers. But she's effectively got an improvised club, and she'll walk over and she's like, "Y'all, that old man looks pretty fit and looks fit as a fiddle over there. I wonder what's up with that, y'all." As she also,
We're working on it.
she will relate to you. Let's see. Hmm. Sure, why not? The old man kind of shrugs with a bemused expression on his face and nimbly strides up towards the theater. There's an occasional couple of people that he has to step aside to let past. But for the most part, the theater is emptied out. And if not for the bottleneck of the stairs, a lot of the people that were upstairs in the balcony would have escaped already. Very bemused expression on his face. Mir says, "I see daylight at the top of the steps." Kind of his way of saying he sees the last few people way at the top of the steps making their way down. Shep.
Okay, then. Shep didn't have much of a running speed. Apparently, he's dragging Ava along.
Ava, you could match him step for step if you wish.
Wherever you go, I'll just pop on right there.
I will.
Excuse me, sir. Um, we wanted to let you know we your your grandchild. He's safe, but he's not that way.
Actually, he is, kind of in a manner of speaking. If this old man re enters the theater, way at the other corner, he'd be entering the theater at the lower right hand side. In the upper left hand corner, like northwest, I guess, if we're using compass points, is the exit that the winged monkeys did take young Scotty.
Yet supposedly he doesn't know that because he is an innocent old man.
Of course. course.
It was so
Perhaps he was in there
cute.
watching the movie. Perhaps he dropped a hearing aid or his cane or something like that. Um, could be that he's going back to retrieve it,
Let's see.
or perhaps he was really enjoying that popcorn. He just wants to go back and pick up his little thing of popcorn.
I'm basically just trying to persuade him to stop for a second.
Does he stop?
And since I ran, that's a -2. Is that right?
It is. It's not a multi-action penalty, but it operates much in the same way. I think it's simply called a run penalty or a running
Okay. But
penalty.
it should do it automatically since I pushed the run button.
Oh, we'll make
Is
sure.
that right?
Oh, we'll make sure.
Okay.
Okay. You could expend a Benny if you would wish to try to get better than a 5. You don't have to. A 5 is a
I'll
success.
try it. This is where I'm not sure if that run penalty will kick in. It didn't kick in, but I'll keep the 5.
Very good. Actually, I did. I see the running penalty.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow,
pretty.
cool. Oh,
It,
that's right, because I have a line.
it's pretty nifty.
It's canceled out. Nice. They fixed that. Sweet.
Okay. I think I will oppose
And
you. I'll oppose you with smarts. The old man really doesn't so much as give you a look over his shoulder as he very lithely and nimbly makes his way towards that set of double doors that leads into the theater. Okay, Sophia.
but I don't think he is who we think he is.
No, no, I don't.
Well, you don't know who he is, so who would you think he is?
He's definitely not his He definitely is not his granddad, because grandparents would have went, "What? Where's my grandson?"
It's it's a weird time, and I don't like it.
Hmm.
Keep that mic up close. Amon. Keep it nice and close. Sophia, what would you like to do? Remind me. I think you did flip the power on the power strip that
I
runs
did.
the set of reel-to-reel tapes. Looks
I
like there
turned
were
the movie off.
and it's probably still spinning a little bit. And well, actually, you powered it down. It didn't reach the end of the first reel. It simply powered down, so we just slowly come to a stop. Does the one driver wheel, which sort of pulls the other wheel at a like rate, and it just comes to a stop. And of course, the lights are out. It is not projecting any longer through this little hole out into the theater proper.
So all I see is darkness.
No, there's light in here. There are
I mean,
3.
outside in the theater. Can I see through the
Yes, that's correct. You can see through. You can see through that hole.
hole?
There is a very dim illumination. You imagine it that those safety lights that are on both ramps and maybe along the front, such that in case of a loss of power, the generator would kick on and at least give enough illumination, kind of that people could make their way out. So it's not pitch black. There's kind of an ambient sort of glow, but you really don't see much, especially because you're up high looking, and the theater slopes down
Mhm.
just on the other side of that wall, gently.
Well, I'm gonna leave the room the same way I came in. Uh, Try and check and see if that made any kind of helpful difference.
Don't go out there. Don't go out there. Keep the door locked.
What?
Don't
No.
they'll kill us last. I hope.
Uh.
There are three people cowering in the corner, begging you not to go back out there.
I'm just gonna walk slowly towards the door. Oh, don't worry. I'm not gonna open the door. It's fine. I'm sure we're fine. It's real quiet out there. We're gonna be fine. And then I just want to
See,
open it
she's
and get
not. She's
out.
just she's just making sure it's locked, and then you open
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yes. And then yes.
Then you book
I
it.
close it behind me though. I do close it behind me.
Okay, would you like to activate the lock on the inner knob and then shut the door, thereby locking them in? I imagine this door has a handle on the outside with a keyhole and a handle on the inside that you can flip and lock. So you could lock them in if you'd like.
I have forgotten that there is a lock.
Okay. There is no lock. Much like the squirrel in the park with the elf, there never was a lock. There will never be a lock. There's no need for a lock.
There
And
was a squirrel.
and you can take that
Ye-
extra little bit of movement to get
I
yourself
have been
out the door.
wronged.
Sophia, yes.
I
Oh,
don't
that
know what the squirrel is you're talking about, Ava. I don't know.
There was one. That's all you need to know.
I believe you.
See?
there never was a squirrel, and it was definitely not being fed granola out of a plastic Ziploc bag. Definitely not. Sophia, when you clear this door, is there anything you would like to say? Because I think you can see Erica.
Oh, oh, hey, Erica.
Oh, and just because it's a little fun, let's turn on line of sight and see. I'm not going to go full bore with this, but I would like to. What's it like? Lighting and play. Enable line of sight.
My goodness.
Yeah, it probably went all black, didn't it?
Yeah.
Lights.
Line of sight is a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, we'll enable lighting.
Well,
Let's
all I know
see
is
what
who I
you
can
can
see for the moment.
see what you can see. I just was hoping that we could see the
All
line
I
of
see
sight.
is an old man.
Oh, yeah. I probably have his token set to like always show, but I went and I shaped the inside here. I guess I may have just masked it. Enable, preview, and disable, enable line of sight. Should be enabled. I was just hoping that as you went around that corner, we could see your, what it is that you can see. But yeah, that's okay. We'll disable line of sight. Can you all see the map again?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm done. I'm done
Yes,
playing for now.
indeed.
Done playing for now. Sophia, Erica's holding a like a brass club in her hand, and she looks like she's fixing to start waving it around like it was a baseball bat. It's very shiny.
Ooh, shiny.
Huh. Hmm. Rocco got a Joker. Hmm. And everybody gets a Benny.
Yay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I like that.
I guess it's
Good job,
okay.
Rocco.
Doggo.
I guess it's okay.
Good
You
doggo.
all
The
are really,
bestest of boys.
you all are gonna need them.
Although it didn't give me a Benny.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't have him. He's, you know what it is.
Oh.
It makes sense. He's not on the party sheet.
It
So
gave the Benny to all villains.
Oh.
did it? Oh, that.
Oh, it's
Oh,
because
that's even.
he's marked as a bad guy.
Oh
He is not the bad
no.
boy.
He is the good boy.
We'll make
He
him
is
friendly.
Yes.
And
He's marked as
let's
the
see.
good boy.
Do I have any other
Lenny
wild
is
card?
also marked as a bad boy.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll fix.
Which I don't think
N-
he's such a bad
Yeah,
boy.
he's not a bad boy. I don't even think he has an
He's just
edge.
a little mathematician
All
boy.
right. All right. So
Tries
no,
his best.
there are no wild cards, so to speak. So I guess that's okay. Yeah, we fixed their. They've got a nice green hue around them now. 6. Pardon me, y'all. Skips around you. Another run of 4. Give him a little free interaction. 2, 3, 4. Oh, excuse me there, young feller. Didn't see you there. You hear Ava.
Oh man. Well, Erica's taking the lead. She'll take some confidence here, and she sees that Erica has taken one of the things and is using it as a club. She will follow her example.
What would you like to do?
Do I see one of those velvet rope holder things around?
Ordinarily, I'd make you roll a notice roll or expend a Benny, but in this particular case, I'm going to say that finding one is a simple matter.
Maybe
It's a
someone knocked one over from the
Yeah,
excitement.
it's a simple matter. Let me just randomly. Oh, let me see how many feet, how many squares away from you the closest one may be, and that makes sense. I'll draw a little arrow to the closest one.
Would it be considered heavy for her if she's so small?
No, it's going to be a light club.
Okay,
It
got
was
it.
either that or I figure it's heavier than a light club, but it's shaped perfectly to swing in that manner. So I was
Okay.
kind of like, do I make it a light club or do I impose a -1 or a -2 improvised weapon penalty? I'm going to go with my
Yeah.
gut and just call it a light club and just avoid
Okay.
the penalties.
I picked up from the items a light club that is representative of a stick or a table leg.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Cool. So I grabbed me one of those,
Okay.
and
That is going to
I will.
complete your turn, I believe, because it is
Oh,
not
can I
simply a
move?
matter of picking it up. You moved 6 squares down, and then in order to pick it up, you had to unclip 2 clips from it to free it up.
Okay.
With the
I can't
remainder,
do a I can't do a run, can I?
not really, because you're running and then stopping and doing something and then running again. But I will tell you that with the remainder of your turn, I will permit you to unscrew the post from the base if
Okay.
you like.
Yeah, she's not that strong.
Yeah, that's
She can't
gonna.
pick it up
It,
too much.
it's yeah,
So I'll just my whole turn then I'll just go prepare myself
yeah. You unscrew it
and
and you basically grab it and you give it like 4 or 5 quick twists and it frees up. You're looking at the base of what you're holding is this brass pole with threaded like screw threading at the bottom, and you basically have left this stout disc, not the size of a small frisbee, but it's beveled and it's weighted because when you pick it up out of that weighted base that gives it stability, it's a lot lighter. And I'll
Yay!
imagine where you're holding it, there's it looks like a top of a pawn in a chess set with that nice bulb at the top, and it's also got
Yeah,
like a ring or a collar around its neck that has these holes where the clips snap in.
yeah.
So,
Okay, cool. So I'll stay back here and just my whole turn will just be doing that, arming myself. So I'll tell Shep, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get something to hit stuff with just in case. And then I'll pass my turn.
what would you like to do, Shep?
Oh, it's my turn already.
Yeah, I took the Wicked Witch
Yeah.
and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and the Winged Monkeys and Elmira Gulch and Dorothy and all those folks off the combat tractor and speed things along.
Okay. Well, too bad those don't bump. Can I? Is the door open, or do I have to push through it?
You have to pull it open, but I will not penalize you any of your movement in order to do that.
Because I mean, basically, my movement would end in the door.
Okay.
Is the reason I'm at.
Okay. It's got those inset glass windows that let you peek through in. It gives you an idea as to like whether or not the movie started before you open the door. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll.
Put yourself up
Well,
there.
I see. Look in. I can see Lenny, I guess. So I will open
Yeah.
the door. Hold the door open and go, "Hey, Lenny."
You see Lenny and the old man exchanging pleasantries. I didn't hurt you, did I? Hurt me? No, no, young fella. No, young fella. You better follow your friends. Um, keep them out of trouble.
And I look and I go, I just say again, are you sure you don't want to know where your grandson is, sir?
Grandson? Oh, my grandsons are grown with kids of their own.
In Shep's mind, he's just going stranger danger.
Danger, danger. He's like, oh man, I don't know about this one.
Sophia, we're to you.
Well, since I am going to follow after Erica because it looked like she was going to go beat someone. And that spells trouble.
You've seen that look before.
Yes.
You can roll that run die and see how much space you can cover.
Run die. That was just a D6.
It's down at the bottom. It says run.
Ah,
And if
here
you
it is.
click that, it will
Yeah,
automatically
got it.
add that to your move.
So I get a 7.
Okay.
Erica, wait! Don't do something crazy.
Oh, you see his Shep holding the door open as Erica runs past.
Okay, so
No
we approve of this crazy.
promises.
Okay, good. Okay.
All right. I mean, we can certainly drop out of combat. I'll keep the tracker kind of activated. It is a useful edifice for keeping things orderly. But there was just enough of a break in the chase as this old man was exchanging pleasantries with one Lenny Gerber. He's probably sporting a good sized welt on Lenny's cheek from that knee that knocked him silly earlier.
Poor Lenny.
Lenny, we told you about getting fresh with Sophia.
Oh no, Lenny's actually a bad boy.
So yeah, it's up to you. I mean, Erica's probably going to position herself and cover his one escape route to the exit. Um, the dog doesn't want to go close, too close, and is trying to like sort of wend his way between all of you folks so that he's at least next to Mir, if not in front of Mir. But I will let you position yourselves any way you would like in this corner of the theater.
Hmm.
You know, there is another exit from the theater way up at the front. Like if you could hug that wall to your right, it angles out a little bit, but then it becomes a right turn that provides an exit out into like the alley. Well,
Well,
all
we
right.
saw them go
Ship's
towards
gonna
the
circle
left.
around.
I will go. Let's see. If we're just open to move around now.
Yes.
Okay, so I from the balcony I remember being able to see everybody leave out of the left-hand side of the theater, like as we were
Almost.
moving.
You know there's an exit there because people went that way and didn't come out. But in fact, there is a little bit of an abutment that sticks out that really kept you from truly seeing the door that led out of the left. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pop in. Open. Oh, it's closed. There we go. I will pop in and stay over here by the ship while I oversee. Yeah, get a good look of the surroundings as
Okay.
well as I can because I know it's dim. The screen isn't technically on anymore, right?
Correct.
Sophia turned it off.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know she's the source, but
Someone did, yeah.
yeah.
Shame. It's
Okay.
such a nice movie.
Right? All right. So Ava will actively be looking for exits to see where things might have gone
Okay.
or whatever.
For free, I will give you there is an exit to the left and the right, way at the front
Mm-hmm.
where the screen is. There is an exit that you just came through. You know there's another exit much like it on the other side of the theater as people are coming out of there as well.
Hmm.
And of course, you can look up and see the balcony, which by now is empty. And
Yeah.
you're having a hard time making it out. There is a little bit of illumination by those sort of exit lights, but you know
Mm-hmm.
that to the front and the left of where you are, all the way up by the screen, that little side set of six seatings or five seatings, you know there is a gruesome sight to behold up that way because you saw from the balcony this man basically get his skull torn off and
Yeah.
his heart ripped out.
Mm.
Could have been more.
There's a lot of bad stuff going on over there.
It was hard to say. I mean,
Um.
there was a lot of chaos, right? A lot of people screaming, yelling, pushing, jostling for position, trying to get out, trying to escape.
um. Since Lenny is by himself, I don't know if I've actually spotted Sophia this entire time. Did I actually?
Yeah, you heard her calling to Erica to wait up, and
Oh, okay.
you imagine she's out with
Running up behind.
Rocco and Mir.
Okay. Then yeah, I will keep my handy dandy makeshift club ready with my noodle arms and keep a lookout to keep a lookout for exits or anything else that might be hiding somewhere.
Hmm. I mean, no, no. The exits are well marked. and known to you. Sophia, what would you like to do?
I would like to follow my friends into the room and try to figure out why we are ganging up on an old man, even though I believe it's justified because they're my friends and they can do no wrong.
Please position yourself. Any reasonable manner that you see fit.
Yeah, feels reasonable. What did I miss? I feel like I missed a lot.
It's okay, Rocco. Just stay here. Good boy.
Sophia.
Harr, harr, harr.
Rocco thinks ill of this man, and I think he's fishy as well. Not because of the reason that I think most men are fishy, but he's fishy in another way.
I'm trying to think. There are two men here, Lenny and the old man. But I think you're familiar enough with Lenny that while he is not truly a member of the study group, just because of his connection to Sophia, I'm not going to impose that plus one-itude to him in terms of your phobia of
Okay.
boys. He's familiar
I
enough
was
to you.
wondering about that.
He's given you guys stuff out of the garage. He's hosed the gray matter that was splattered on your front sidewalk off. Try to keep the cats from licking it. He's done
Yeah,
that sort
he's
of
been
stuff.
helpful.
I say it's quite a bit of excitement. These you young people are here to help others that remain behind, perhaps. So much excitement. I'm all aflush. Looks at Lenny. Young fella, you need to have somebody take a look at that. That's a nasty bruise. Do you feel dizzy? Lenny nods into the affirmative. Yes, well, yes. Enough excitement for one night, I think. I believe I'll take my leave of you young folks. He heads towards the door, pushes it open.
No, wait.
Hey,
Sophia, stop him.
Um, uh, can I trip him?
Sure. You can make an
Oh my god.
make a you can make a fighting roll against him. Make sure you target him.
Yeah, I will target him. Definitely.
Hopefully he
this
doesn't
time.
have a medic alert.
He's fallen. He can't get
And
up.
he can't get up.
What do I roll
Oh,
for fighting?
God.
Well, first you make sure that you have him selected, such that it will
Yes.
apply your attack
I
towards
I
him.
have him selected.
I see that. Very good.
Yeah.
Just to open up. What is it? There's got to be
Oh,
like
buddy.
there's like a little targeting, so I can see.
Yeah, I've got like a
There it
knife and
is.
a stun gun, but I don't want to
Yeah.
go that far.
Oh my goodness! What if he's got a pacemaker? You could short that devil right out. Sure, you have him targeted if you'd like to make a fighting roll.
Do it.
Don't mind us, rowdy teenagers,
Ooh.
just tripping over
It's
people
not an
over
actual
here.
knife. It's my fighting roll. It's not. Just pretend the word knife isn't there.
Well, that looks like a hit.
Oh my god.
Oh
I'm
God,
going to give.
This is what peer pressure is.
I will give him a agility roll to avoid turning prone. Oh dear, I've fallen.
Can you get? But can you get up?
I think I broke my hip.
Oh,
Oh, sir, you really need to watch
Ava.
out. Lenny's got
I
gigantic
didn't
ass
tell
feet.
you to trip the man. I just wanted you to stop him. Maybe hold an elbow.
Just because I like to. Let me see. Oh,
don't
there is a
understand what's happening, Ava. What did you make
there
me do?
I saw him give a kid some money to go buy stuff, and then he never went to go watch a movie with the kid, and it was weird.
And the kids
Stranger danger.
disappeared.
Well, he didn't vanish, you know.
The kid
That
disappeared.
he was in good hands, so to speak. Let me see. I found a prone uh, condition, a prone effect. I think I'll drop it on this fellow just because I like to. I mean, you know, the graphic user interface provides the capability. Why wouldn't I take advantage of it?